Welcome to Let's Go Comic Book Show, special Lego Batman giant-sized annual. My name is Justin.
I'm Matt.
And we are super excited to talk about the Lego Batman movie. It was absolutely one of the best times that we had in the theaters. But to even talk about this, we can't just go it alone, right?
No, not by ourselves. I don't think we can handle it. It's too much.
I don't think we can even understand the complexities of a Lego Batman. So that's why we brought in our good friend, Delon Anderson, who is a Lego expert. Delon, welcome to the Let's Go Comic Show.
Thank you. Hello, I'm glad to be here.
So to just start this conversation, what makes you a Lego expert?
How long have you been working with Legos?
Well, I've been using Lego bricks for quite some time now. I've been using the Lego system for about 25 years. Started with the Duplo, moved on to Lego, spent a little time with Technic. You know, that wasn't so much my flavor, so I went back.
Is Technic part of Lego?
It is. It's for older audience, and I grew out of that.
you grew out of the older audience? It went back to Lego.
Yeah, I came to respect it in its purest form.
Nice.
But never anything like Mega Bloks or any of that nonsense.
Those were the Batman Mega Bloks movie's not coming anytime soon.
No,
the Dark Years.
Those were the Dark Years, the Mega Bloks.
My kids actually had
a Mega Block.
Ninja Turtle Mega Bloks.
That made me so sad.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if Lego lost the Ninja Turtle license.
Well, Mega Bloks had the license first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is why I was so sad at first, and then eventually you see Lego one, probably because they're just more awesome. I didn't really research
my
that.
kid had a Lego Ninja Turtle set like 2 years ago or a year ago. And then this Christmas, my aunt got him a Mega Bloks Christmas set. So,
well, I'm really excited for that Ninja Turtles Mega Bloks movie.
Yeah, hey, but what I was going to say
building
is
that
Lego
Mega Bloks universe.
Work on it. Like so you can use the pieces together.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
you don't mix
you guys
that,
can't
you
see
shouldn't
this,
just do everything you can do.
Delon gave me the dirtiest look.
I'm trying to act like that's peanut butter and jelly or something.
Yeah,
but
not.
The one thing is they snatch up some pretty good properties with Mega Bloks having Power Rangers now, which I feel would work way better with Lego, and Transformers, which I feel would also work way better with Lego.
Transformers has a Mega Bloks?
Yeah, they're
That's
terrible.
Kind of weird. I feel like Transformers doesn't need to go past what it is.
Well, I mean, they've already had multiple movies with Michael Bay, so Transformers aren't doing that great.
Yeah, there
general,
you go.
So,
fine. But you know, we're not here to talk
Lego
about Transformers.
expert right there. Lego expert.
Lego expert. Awesome. Man, I feel more like a master builder now that you're next to me. So
I feel
really
equipped
excited.
to have this conversation, proper conversation. So what we have here, like Justin said, is we're calling it a giant size annual because kind of different from our normal conversations that kind of go all over the place. This is one episode for one topic, and that's Lego Batman movie. We're super stoked for it, and I'm telling you, like right now, we're going to talk spoilers. Like I don't want to have to think about holding back anything from here on out, so you've been warned. I think it's actually a movie. I know you probably think like it's a cartoon, it's an animated movie. You don't need to worry about spoilers. Dude, I am telling you, if you go in fresh, like you're going to be caught off guard by a bunch of stuff in the best way, and it's going to be wonderful. So stop listening if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But if you have, dude, let's talk about this awesomeness. Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers. Okay, so we can just start spitting like whatever we want to about the Lego movie. And overall, I mean, let's rate it. I can rate now. It's a go for me, dude. Man. I can't wait to go back.
Delon, we need to explain to our Lego expert
hit the brakes.
The rating system for the Let's Go multiverse of podcasts. So if it's like what Justin likes to call trash juice.
It's trash juice.
Not worth it at all. That's what we call a don't go.
Don't go.
If it's like, hey, it's up to you. You can go. It's not horrible, but we're not going to tell you should go. That's
like,
a go.
Say like the Ghostbusters movie. It's a go.
Not the new one?
The new one.
Okay.
It's a
I was
go.
going to say, don't you dare speak ill of Venkman.
Yeah, answer the call. It's a go. It's like,
you could
go see
send
it
a voicemail.
Yeah, we're not going to give it like our stamp of endorsement.
I might say don't go, to be honest. But I'm trying to be nice.
You're just being nice because I'm here. Oh, man.
And so then we have Let's Go. And that's like, hey, that's more on the positive side. Like, go check it out.
Yeah, the
it's
show's
good.
called Let's Go.
Yeah.
You know?
We want to get people out there checking stuff out. And the gotta go is like, stop what you're doing right now. Go.
Just go do that.
If it's a show, go watch it. If it's a movie, go buy tickets.
Can I propose a new one for this special movie?
Sure.
Oh, please.
Lego.
Hey.
All right.
Lego.
Let's just combine those.
your
Dude. It's
scale.
a gotta Lego.
I got a Lego.
I got a
Go
Lego.
for this
Lego.
episode only. And since you are an official Lego ambassador from the Lego Institute of America, we will take that and it will apply it to the show. So, okay. Now that review stuff's out of the way. That was funny.
To go back to the point you were making, I agree. It's a gotta go.
Yeah, it's just a gotta go. And so we're gonna.
I can't recommend this highly enough.
It's so.
I want to be watching again right now. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I really want to see it again, and it's hard because I do still want to go see John Wick 2, and I feel like I want to put my money down on Lego Batman again.
I know.
It's hard. I feel like, you know what, John Wick, I waited
Choices,
for Netflix
man.
last time. Like, it's a sleeper hit. It can sleep again.
Those coming out on the same day.
That's rough, man.
Were bad things for me.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough time.
Choosing between your children. Like, it's just.
Yeah.
I don't own either of those things, but.
I watched people
Not my
walking
actual
into
children.
that theater, and I was a little sad. But then I was like, "Wait, no, I'm not."
Yeah.
And then I came out and I'm like, "I'm definitely not."
All right, so
Okay.
let's talk about the movie. So we
Yeah.
got that out of the way. The context is we love this movie. We're all of one accord when it comes to that. What I thought would be good to start out, because what really started getting me interested, I remember hearing like right after the Lego movie was released, that was a hit.
Yeah.
They talked about kind of their next slate of movies, and they're like, sure, like whatever. But dude, I'm telling you, can we just talk about the marketing lead up and advertising for this movie? Because it just got me all sorts of worked up and excited for this movie.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think? I just thought they did a great job. It was everywhere, and it was genuinely funny.
Well, when they first announced, like, we're going to do a Lego Batman movie after the Lego movie came out, I was, like, pumped because my favorite part of the Lego movie was freaking Batman, obviously. But I didn't expect for Batman in the Lego movie to, be that much a part of it. Like, I thought he was going to be, like, a cameo. Like, there's Batman. And for him to be so enveloped in that world and to be, like, total, like, pompous, like, jerk Batman was so funny. What do you think, Delon?
When I heard about Lego Batman the first time, I actually was a little skeptical because I loved the Lego movie, and I was just thinking, oh man, they're already kind of pushing it way beyond its bounds, and it's gonna start crumbling. They're gonna have different, creative stuff. I just got afraid of it going too far, and I was like, why aren't they doing the Lego movie 2 before that? So
Dude,
I didn't really want it to happen until I saw the trailer, and I was like, oh, okay,
now it makes sense.
well, that's cool. And just the way that they built this whole, like, what they did with him, I had no idea it was going to be that awesome.
Can I tell you what I loved? My favorite part of the lead up to it?
Yeah.
I followed the real Lego Batman on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. Like, props to that marketing team for being able to pump out content so much. Like, there was a lot of different stuff that made it really seem like Lego Batman was posting on Instagram. And it was totally in character.
And he's real Lego Batman. Like,
real Lego Batman in the name. Like, so good, dude. And then, like, just the posters and seeing all those Lego sets at Target was just, I was ready.
The Lego
to see that
sets
movie.
took me to the next level, dude. When you saw the design of the characters, like the design of the minifigures is just the coolest thing ever to me. It made me want to run out and just buy everything. I don't have enough money, but
yeah, okay, so that was cool. So the Lego sets were, like, I was reading up on them. Like, they're not supposed to come out till January. I was like, oh man, because I wanted to get my kids some for Christmas so that I could have them. And they actually, some of them did come out, and we were able to get a couple. We got the Joker Lowrider, which
so good.
we built it, and we actually made a little animated, like, 6-second clip of it going. We played like a Dr. Dre song. I'll have to play it for, maybe we'll put it up on the page. It was really fun. It was a fun little,
dude.
it was a fun little clip of it, just driving around, dude, because that thing is huge. It's a big old boat, and it has a cool hydraulic system you have to build. Anyways,
the zebra print seats, did it for me. That it's the little things for me now with all the sets and the zebra. I had lost.
That has really cool little features. It even has little window wipers on it, like the details in that thing.
It's pretty crazy, cool. And I think that speaks to the detail in the movie.
Yeah.
Like that probably could segue us into talking about just the design aspect of things, because I think we've talked about that even before the movie came out. Just that got me really excited to see the design choices, the character choices, the costume choices that they chose for all of these, especially characters that have had multiple iterations. What were some of the ones that stuck out to you, Delon?
Well, of course, Bane. Bane is just ridiculous. The
totally
way they worked him into a big fig, and they've had, I think, a couple of Banes so far, but this one is just the eyes and everything.
Yeah, because my kids have the Bane character that they released for Lego Dimensions last year, and it's totally just a normal minifigure with the mask head and stuff. And so when I saw this one, incorporating the mask with like the Dark Knight Rises look, I feel like is a fantastic combo.
Yeah.
Like you're not full luchador, but
never go full.
You're also not, because the more I think about it, the less I like the mask from The Dark Knight Rises. But that's kind of typical of everything in that movie for me. The more I think about it, the less excited I am. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, another day. That's another
day. Joker was amazing. Joker and Robin, and I feel like that's
like their designs
thing to say, but yeah,
I feel like both of those
them
are like worth talking about too. Yeah. What was it about Joker that stuck out to you? I have my ideas, but
with Joker is just that I don't know. It seemed so simple, but like perfect. It was almost like all of them seem to have this kind of caricature, like exaggerated feel. Well, I guess because that's Lego, but it wasn't like they were trying to copy, another property like they've been doing for a while and successfully. But now it's like, this is our caricature of like all the Jokers put together. Basically, they're like, okay, we'll take some from everything. And that's what I loved about this whole movie is they took some of all of his mythology and were like boiled it down into the essence of each character. I love that.
I love the little like tattoos he had on his arm. Because it wasn't like, tattoo on your face type of stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't Suicide Squad. Also a conversation for another day.
Yeah. But when I first saw his design, I was almost like, oh, they didn't go with the classic Lego Joker look. They kind of went with something different. But I really liked the tooth. And if you start, if you look at his vest and his tie, a little skull pattern on it. Really, really cool.
You know what else I noticed
details.
too, seeing it on the big screen that I hadn't noticed in a lot of the marketing, is even his red like lip, like makeup, like his mouth was all like rough around the edges. Yeah. Like it totally reminded me of like a Heath Ledger aspect to it.
Again, they
so
took
it's just all these different aspects.
They even referenced that in the movie. Like, remember when we did that big parade and like all the
that was
one
of my favorite parts.
Yeah, all of those.
Oh, dude, yeah, we'll get to that soon because there's so many references. But what about I also agreed with Robin. What was it for you on Robin?
Now, okay, I'm not as big expert on Batman as you guys
but you are
a
Lego expert.
You are the Lego expert.
So is it Carrie that was the female Robin?
Yeah, Carrie Kelly.
Like it seemed like that was a real call out to her.
I didn't catch that until the end of the movie.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because I just assumed Dick Grayson and it's just their own take on Dick Grayson. But then by the end of the movie, I'm like, hold on. Yeah, it's Dick Grayson, but he totally looks like Carrie Kelly.
Yeah, with the goggles.
It made me question it because I knew Michael Cera was doing the voice, but then when I saw the design, I'm like, wait a second, what? But it totally worked. And then the Dick Grayson, even just by himself with the glasses, oh my gosh, everything's so adorable in this movie.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, the eyes really made you like. Going into it, I thought that Dick Grayson was going to be more annoying than he was. He was actually really cute, and I don't know, man. The only thing I don't like about the costume, I love how he puts the costume on because it's Reggae Man. Oh, yeah. But I just didn't like the red boots. I was like, oh, I wish he had there's the purist in me that's like, oh, she had the red boots.
So the funny thing about Robin is he was the favorite part of the movie for both my kids.
Yeah.
I tried to get them to say all the funny things they liked about it because they laughed a lot and they were like enjoying it when we saw the movie. Mm-hmm. One thing that it kept coming back to, best part of the movie, Robin ripping off his pants.
Yep.
Every time.
Yeah. Wow,
that
funny.
is what stuck with them.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, that be fair. Like it was funny.
It's funny.
It is, but that's so
Just
funny
even coming out of Arkham and just going.
that's the part where I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny, I guess. And I'm noticing with a lot of animated movies, those parts that I kind of write off, like, oh, that's silly. Those will end up being the parts that the kids are like, oh my gosh, let me quote this 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, it's true. So before we move on from Robin, real quick, we know who Carrie Kelly is, but for those people who don't know, where would that character be from?
Dark Knight Rises. I'm sorry, Dark Knight Returns. Sorry.
Easter egg.
Dark Knight Rises is that other Robin who's not really
Robin.
Robin. John
Blake
Robin. Sorry.
Orphan Vision.
Orphan Visions, Which
so for those who don't know,
like
that's what that is a reference to in that character. It's a pretty smart reference to a classic comic book story written by Frank Miller.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Returns.
Which it out. Every Batman movie has like a little influence of the Dark Knight Returns.
It's true.
Before we leave minifigure appreciation land.
Yeah. Oh no, we're not
we can hit that.
Okay, I just wanted to
Anything's
point out,
up.
because I'm looking at this poster, because Justin has the poster up so we can refer to all of it. But Killer Croc with the classic alligator.
He just has
head.
Like
it's just a regular Lego head, right?
Well,
it's the old school alligator.
The alligator.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant because they could easily just had a new face for him, a new head,
which I hate in the comics when they make him look like a straight up crocodile.
I was just gonna say that.
So that was my first thought. I was like, oh man, really? Mm-hmm. But then when I realized, I'm like, no, that's like a generic alligator head, which is. Gosh, dude, just levels upon levels in this movie. I would say another minifigure that really caught our eye, Justin and I, like when we first started the marketing, was Batgirl and Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because they totally adjusted the look of the character and the skin tone of it because Rosario Dawson was the actress.
Oh, man. This is
the voice of it.
Second Let's Go recording today with Rosario Dawson brought up. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosario Dawson.
Thank you, Rosario Dawson.
We salute you. But yeah, I just thought that was a cool design change. Like it's subtle. Like for those who aren't familiar with Batgirl, she's white, red hair. Like that's usually the go-to for that. And so for them to make that adjustment, it felt like something that made sense. Mm-hmm. And funny enough, like usually when stuff like that happens, there's like a big uproar over it.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard a thing over
which is
not
cool.
even a little.
So,
so Commissioner Gordon as well, because he's her dad, like adjusted him as well.
Yeah.
What was one for you, Justin?
I really like, and this is the part, I'm going to talk about one of my least favorite parts of the movie right now, but it's also one of my favorite parts of all the Lego stuff was having Billy D. Williams come back to be Two-Face. Like when I heard that news, I was like, finally, like Billy D gets to be Two-Face. Like the story, Billy D signed on to do Batman 89, knowing, Harvey Dent becomes Two-Face.
And he played Harvey Dent in Batman 89.
Yeah, this sound. He probably was like, this sounds like a great opportunity. He's probably like talking, And so with that being said, he never got to be Two-Face. And now he gets to be and they're like, Harvey Dent is going to be played by Billy D. Williams. I'm like, yeah, I was so pumped. And then to find out he has like 2 lines, and they're not even real lines. They're like lines they speak over each other, and you're like, he had more lines in the Lego movie as like Londo than he did in.
Oh, that's so funny.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's.
He's probably thinking this deal is getting worse and worse.
Yeah. He's like, man, it's almost like I'd rather have just been the first Harvey Dent and been done with it. But I like his design. Like,
the design was really
creepy, dude. It's got a really creepy look.
I feel like because it's Lego, they were able to push it a little more.
Yeah, it's funny because Lego, I watched the Brickumentary. You probably worked on that since you're a Lego guy. But they talked about how Lego never wanted guns and stuff, and then once Star Wars got a Star Wars license, they're like, well, they use guns. Hey, we're making all this money on Lego. Guns are okay. So they really pushed the envelope. I love the penguin design, even though
he was like a blink and you miss him.
Yeah, he really was. Which is funny.
First scene, he's in one of the cars, I think, and that's
he has a $59 Lego set you can buy of his car.
So with Two-Face, would Billy D. Williams get only half of the likeness rights there?
Or double.
Hey, the Lego experts got jokes. He's dropping bricks on us. So I love that design.
That was a cool design.
What was?
And I agree. Sorry, I was agreeing that's a cool design. What were you going to say?
Clayface in the movie?
Oh,
I did not appreciate Clayface like in the set as much. I was like, okay, that's cool, but in the
really?
movie, oh my god,
what a great idea!
Poster. When I first saw that poster, I was like, "Shut up! That's such a cool way to do it." Because think about how lame he would have looked as a minifigure.
Yes.
Oh, dude, best. Here's the one I never thought I'd see: Mutant Leader from The Dark Knight Returns. He's in there.
Why not?
Okay, so maybe talk about some of the random villains, which I think it's amazing. Like, okay, if you do the blind bags, me and Delon were talking about blind bags on the way over, and some of the random figures, like there's Zodiac Man, which I hate, which now I've purchased like 3 times. like, by the way, that sucks. Like, it would have been better if it was somebody else I can turn into a goon or something. But anyways, like having the random guys like Egghead in the movie was hilarious from the 60s show.
So funny. And they actually used him more than Two-Face.
Yeah, they did. I know, right?
Sure, why not, man?
Okay. The Riddler. Now, some of the stuff was a bummer. Yeah, Condiment Man.
Or Condiment King.
Condiment King.
So design-wise, the Riddler, how much of a douche did he look like? Like, he just looked like with the long hair and the derby. I was like, oh, dude, you're totally making him someone you're like, yeah, you're horrible.
Well, in the comics, like around after Hush, he started to have long hair and stuff. But
which isn't inherently bad. I just felt like the design in it, I'm like, you look like such a schmuck.
Yeah. Well, and then Conan O'Brien did his voice.
He did the voice for Riddler?
Yeah, but he didn't really say anything. He was just like, he wasn't there.
He said the riddle me this.
Yeah, riddle me that. He said riddle me this.
What just happened?
Yeah, that was about it.
That got a lot of laughs.
So I really wish there was a little more villain, like not highlights because I know Joker was the main guy, but a little more like, okay, maybe if they were his minions or they were working for him, there's a little more substance pulled out of the villains. That was like my only I really wish that happened.
So do you feel like you would trade the amount of villains for better quality time?
No, not at all. I'm just
because that was such a big part of that opening scene bit, like just listing off all of these random things and landing on Condiment King, to where everyone's like, seriously?
He's all,
like, is that
Google it? yeah. Like again, I would loved all the different villains. I just wish there was like Two-Face, Penguin, Riddler, Catwoman. Maybe give them a few more lines, because.
And then there's a Hugo Strange on here too, right? And I didn't even see him in the movie, but I remember seeing him on a poster that I had.
He could have been like in that flurry of characters.
Do you see him in here? I don't even see him. Is that Hugo Strange?
I thought so, but.
I thought Mr. Freeze in the big old mech suit was kind of cool.
That is the coolest Mr. Freeze figure, by the way. We have that. And that's a cool set.
Nice.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best. That's the thing now. Going forward, I know we're talking a lot about the toys right now, but like as they just make a regular DC superhero Lego sets, like I almost don't go back to some of those designs because these Lego Batman ones are so much cooler, and I want to get that Scarecrow pizza delivery guy.
Yes, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to get to. Best minifigure in that entire movie.
It's Lego.
The Scarecrow delivery.
Pizza delivery guy. Dude,
it's a cool idea. I think my favorite is I want to get that Two-Face, and I don't see him in any sets. I only see him in the Arkham Escape set, and he's only in the Arkham costume.
Really? I feel like I've seen that somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe
We're spending so much time talking about Lego toys, and I never thought I would have cared. I never cared. I mean, other than a general appreciation for Lego.
Yeah.
Like this has definitely piqued my interest in it to where I'm seriously considering dropping money on a Lego Dimensions set just to be able to have those characters because I thought it was so cool.
And they even took belts to a whole new level with Lego too because the utility belt
Just that's a separate piece
in and of itself.
When you have a minifigure.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. They started doing that with
and the tails
and stuff, but
tails, the Joker's tails.
But the belt, that was...
He had
bow ties now are a separate
too,
piece.
which are pretty cool.
I saw the bow ties are a separate piece.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, we can move on from
the design.
That's fine.
But
that's
fine. Such a key part. Like,
it is.
The amount of detail spent and thought spent just on how the characters look and how many there are, I feel like that deserves time spent on it. Like that.
No, for sure.
Props to you.
Yeah. Props to you, Lego Master.
I don't know who's responsible for that. Chris McKay, go for it, man.
Yeah.
You do that.
So sometimes some of the stuff is like, oh, they didn't really change like the DC character as much, like Superman, Wonder Woman stuff. Like Man-Bat, no changes on him.
Yeah, but I think that's fine. I feel like the ones they did, I mean, we can talk about the visuals, I feel like, forever. I also appreciated, consistent with the Lego movie, the style of animation.
Yeah, the stop motion-y look.
Yeah, was pretty fantastic. So when like Robin, for example, like keeps ripping off his pants, he's like holding a separate pair of Lego legs, and the way things like explode, or even the same I guess we're moving away from.
Well, the water's different though. The water was actually water in this one. In the Lego movie, the water's Lego.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah.
So there was a few. It looked like it had splashes of like the singular.
They had splashes of like Lego of the little dots.
But it felt like the liquid was all.
Interesting.
I don't know. I'll have to look at it again.
Liquid's hard.
So liquid, yeah, it's like a like what is liquid?
Liquid's hard.
That would be ice. No. Ice to meet you.
It was neat that it did feel like, I mean, they made a slight reference to it, but you could tell that it was in the same Lego universe without it yelling that at you.
Yeah.
But then it also had this whole like color palette of its own. Mm-hmm. So it was cool. It didn't seem like like a spinoff of the Lego movie. It was its own.
And we can get to that too.
Yeah,
I feel like that's an
wish
overarching
Emmett
thing.
showed up. I wish there was a little cameo of Emmett or something.
It could be fun. I'm sure Zack Snyder has some explanation outside of the movie for why he wasn't there, and it'll be in the ultimate cut.
I thought it was really fun. We killed Emmett. It was fun. We had a great idea. Like, hey Emmett, you're gonna die.
And why not kill the dog too? Crypto's there, but then now he's dead.
So
So I think we could probably talk a little bit about the story and maybe the interaction of the characters would be good to talk about. I did not expect the story to go the way it went. By the time we get to the third act, like that was a little different than I expected it to be, but in a great way. Because the trailers did a pretty good job of giving you a general idea of like, yeah, he's a loner, and then there's Robin, and he's probably going to fight some bad guys. Like that's literally all I remember seeing from the marketing.
Yeah, I didn't think there was going to be this father-son aspect of it, which I liked. So I was wondering, like, they're not going to show Dick Grayson's parents splat in the Lego movie, you know? Like, they're not going to show, like, trapeze artist died.
Even though
I do want to see that
I trust them to handle that with class, because they do that.
Like, how do you do death in a Lego movie? They just fall apart. There's, like, arms and legs.
Because even with the gunshots with the pew-pew, like,
I loved that.
Yeah.
Because that's something carried over from the Lego movie as well.
Yeah.
Where they're making the sounds for a lot of things instead of actually like gun sounds.
Yeah.
Which totally, I mean, yeah, dude. It's hard to talk about this stuff without talking about like how Lego is building a universe, but I want to save that for after we specifically talk about the movie.
Please, because I have a lot of thoughts on that.
Oh gosh, dude,
and
me too.
With the father-son, I kind of noticed that with the Lego movie, with this one, and with that Ninjago trailer, it's like that's a theme. Like each one is kind of father-son relationship.
You got fatherhood on the brain, dude.
Dude. For those who don't know, side note, Delon's wife could literally have a baby at any moment now. So
keep your phone on, dude.
He's got the phone at the ready. Any text messages? We good?
No, we're good.
Delon is an actual master builder of people as well.
Hey.
That's kind of creepy, but okay.
Oh man. Okay. So the basic rundown of the story. Let's just recap for those at home.
Batman, loner, the most who thinks he's the most awesome guy in the world, which I love I love Batman in this movie. I think
he's so cocky, but in an endearing way. Like he's cocky and dumb. Like he's cocky and kind of like not paying attention.
Well, not dumb. I think he's not self-aware. He's not self-aware.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, of course, So I was telling Matt, there's a comic book called All-Star Batman and Robin, and Batman in that comic just thinks he's so cool. But he does. I'm thinking it feels like Lego Batman's an extension of this, like total jerk Batman who's like, I'm the GD Batman. Like he literally says that in like the comic. So he's so like aggro Batman, like I'm the coolest. I'm this. Like
also
Superman sucks.
A miniseries written by Frank Miller.
Yeah, Frank Miller. Like they're just jerk. Like he literally made Robin paint a room yellow so Green Lantern couldn't do anything. Like just some crazy. It's just crazy bananas comic. It's like a crazy. Anyways, I feel like he's just that version, and that's what I loved about him in the Lego movie. So when he got his own movie, I go, this is gonna be so fun because
they built a really distinct take on Batman. And so what you see him go through is he defeats the Joker, like just pretty easily at the beginning, and the Joker is really sad that he's not Batman's one and only villain,
which is hilarious.
Which is that's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
And so there's this ongoing thing where it takes more than just Batman to take care of the city, is what Barbara Gordon comes in and takes care of, who is commissioner.
Yeah.
I feel like other than Batman Beyond, that's the first time a young Barbara Gordon has been commissioner.
Again, they just pull from all the cool parts of the Batman universe and make it work for the story, which totally works in this movie.
So, and then, surprise, Act 3, Joker gets all the villains out. He gets Batman to put him in the Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
And so he can escape from Kimmy Schmidt, the computer.
Yeah.
And get to
the cast is so
and
good.
get back to just wreaking mayhem on Gotham to prove that he is Batman's one and only true nemesis. And Batman, to the end, will not admit it and be like,
he wouldn't even tell me 18.
And all the while, again, you have that father-son through line that you're talking about with Batman. Really deep down, he doesn't show it to everybody, but he is lonely. Like he sees that he's got everything, and he never stops saying he's awesome, but he sees like that he's missing something.
Yeah.
And then Robin comes along, and I actually was surprised at how quickly he started liking Robin.
Yeah, it
happened a lot quicker than I thought would.
Like even in the Batmobile, like it wasn't like he was being a jerk. He was like,
gosh, I'm so sorry.
I need to take care of this guy.
We're just gonna ease
Once he did all this stuff in the Fortress of Solitude for him, that's when I had some little Lego bricks forming in the eyes at that point. I was like, yeah, dude. I was just like, man, like he's starting to like Robin. He'll just do anything to have approval, and it was so cute. It was like this little kid who just all I want is a dad type of idea.
Yeah. And it's almost like he and Batman were both lacking self-awareness, but in different ways.
Yeah.
Like Robin was just relentless in like pursuing. And dude, anytime he was trying on costumes, it was just a pleasure. So that's the main gist of it. And what I thought were some of my favorite moments, like we mentioned, was stuff with Joker. Zach Galifianakis voicing Joker, which I was not sure of going into it.
Wait, do you want to get into the casting right now, or do you want to finish any other thoughts? You want to?
I feel like just that's the broad brushstrokes, just to remind everybody of the story, and while we talk about the pieces that we liked.
Okay.
Because right off the bat, like Batman and Joker's interaction in that first sequence, where he's like, "Are you saying you want to fight other people?" Like just that whole like my kids didn't get any of those references that he was talking about relationships, but I was dying.
Yeah.
And so even later in the third act, when Joker's kind of rubbing in Batman's face, he's like, "You are never gonna fight this ever again." I'm like, God. I lost it, dude. Lost it.
Yeah, this whole story was fun. Now I know a lot of people said they didn't like Zach Galifianakis at first. When I first heard his voice in the trailers, I was like,
really?
It didn't do anything for me when I heard it in the trailers.
Story, it's this. He's so crazy. He just seemed too normal, but in a good way. Like he's just normal. Like, I'm just crazy. I just do crazy things. Like
like I loved him sitting on a recliner watching Superman talk about Zod and be like, "See, he gets it," and just like sad that Batman's not paying enough attention to him. That was a fun like B plot to kind of run through there and kind of drive that other side of things.
Yeah,
I liked him because it's with a lot of this movie. It seemed like they gave you the benefit of the doubt that you already know these characters. And that with Joker, it's like they didn't have to show you that he's insane because you already know that. But he's almost kind of riffing on himself like the whole time by being playing the straight guy a little bit and having more of a normal voice. He can kind of make fun of what's going on, but then you still like, of course, he's Joker. You know he's insane already.
Yeah. How funny is that Batman was like the more over-the-top character, and Joker was more straightforward.
yeah, exactly, right?
It's true.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, like the Joker needs Batman. Batman gives the Joker purpose, and when Batman is not pursuing Joker, it's like, well, what do I got? This sucks, So I think that it's like
playing up that aspect of it, like the spurned lover, like aspect of it was so great.
When Batman told him at the beginning, when he told him, "I don't need you," that broke my heart.
Because you just saw him like just cry.
You're
like
nothing
Joker.
to me.
It was like he's just trying to like, this girl is obsessed with me. I gotta let her down, dude. She's not taking any of my hints. I'm gonna be as harsh as possible.
Because he totally played it up as like this really awkward moment of like,
He's like,
Joker, like, if you think about it, that dude got no love that entire movie. Because even he first shows up in that plane to like hijack the plane, and those pilots just kind of stare at him.
Let's just say really quick, that plane was awesome. That was an awesome Lego plane. Like, they need to sell that for $400.
Okay, so do you think, I was thinking that's totally a reference to the plane at the beginning of Dark Knight Rises, right?
It seemed like it.
Maybe.
It seemed like just like it.
it could be. I don't know. I didn't even think about that. Like everything's a reference in that movie, so they could have been.
Gosh, so many.
If Bane was on it, that would have been cool. Like, oh, crashing this plane.
So I think the other element that we didn't really talk on is how'd you feel about non-Batman villains being the main obstacle in the third act?
Okay, so I thought it was
what
really
we have
cool.
coming out of the Phantom Zone, who do we have?
We had
Voldemort. Sauron.
Voldemort, yeah.
Agent Smith.
Agent
dude.
Smith. The Agent Smiths were freaking hilarious. I was like,
my God.
the Gremlins, like that was,
It was
funny.
fine.
Yeah, here's the thing.
It made
like,
for a good Twilight Zone reference.
Yeah. The
Okay.
Gremlins are weird.
Who was the green guy now? Is that just an
Is he not just the
original
creature from the Black
Lagoon
kind of thing?
Because they had the creature from the Black Lagoon as well. Like
Oh yeah,
in a
but then there was like a
minifigure.
giant one.
But then there's
Yeah.
this giant, and I'm like, you're shooting.
Can I just say he
Hadoukens?
had one of my favorite moments too?
What was that?
When he shot the fireball at Batman and then he went out of the way and took out Sauron. And you see that just like that, and then just this kind of sneak away, like just like, whoops.
Oh man,
God.
the
That
King
was a
Kong,
wonderful moment.
That was cool.
Oh, yeah.
Kong.
That was Seth Green as King Kong.
No.
Yeah. Oh,
Did you
okay.
ever
Speaking
figure
of
out who
worst,
Chris Hardwick
he
did
was
the
just
voice
a
for?
reporter. Him and like I think Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman were like reporters.
That's so fun, dude. So
nerd
many
blogger guys.
random little nerd references.
Mariah Carey as the mayor. I didn't understand.
Yeah,
I didn't
that
realize
was
that's
neat.
who that was.
Like, it was a
Huh?
neat thing to tell my wife. Like, I was just like, oh, that's Mariah
But it
Carey,
was
so I
like-
look cool. But
I don't
I
know.
didn't
Yeah,
understand.
that didn't matter at all.
Yeah, I would have.
You got the diversity points a little bit, I guess.
Mariah Carey's in this. They're like, oh, okay.
You know,
It would have been funny if she like lost her mind. And then it was like, oh, okay, cool. They like told her, hey, do these.
It's too
do
bad
these
this was
lines.
made so far before New Year's Eve.
Yeah, right. So
It probably
you
meant
know
a
what's
little
funny?
more before then.
The assistant was Chief O'Hara, but it was like a female version.
Yes.
Chief O'Hara. But I wish she was Irish.
And Chief O'Hara, for those who don't know, is from?
60s Batman classic TV show.
Yes, it is. Man,
You know
what
what
such a horribly stereotypical character, too.
Yeah.
That accent was so...
He's like, well, I'll be Glory Commissioner.
oh, Commissioner.
I
That's where they
ruined
got the
all
Bane
the bad guys for myself by looking at the cast before, like 2
Oh,
days
really?
before.
Oh, yeah.
And then I saw, Seth Green's in it. Who's he playing? King Kong, the
So what
Wicked
happens
Witch.
is in that...
No.
Jermaine Clement from Fly the Conchords, he's Sauron.
Oh, no. That's- See, now I have to see this movie again,
Yeah,
man.
it's just there's it's
So
just
it was interesting with not knowing the villains. That first act where Superman is putting people in the Phantom Zone, like you hear like the different people
yeah.
talking,
yeah.
like Wingardium Leviosa, and so I was like, oh, that's a fun reference. And then not even thinking until like the Phantom Zone came back around, I was like, oh crap, they're gonna bring all those dudes down, which was really fun, and that was a really great way to tie it into a broader universe.
Yeah.
That's one thing I would say the biggest surprise to me is I did not go into this expecting it to be part of building a Lego shared universe.
I like that. Okay, so
We don't need to get there yet.
we don't get but I want to talk about the cast more.
Yeah.
My one of my favorite things when we were like going home, I think we were already home, and my son's all, "Hey, Dad, Siri was the voice in the movie."
Yes.
And he thinks it's funny, like when you use the phone to talk.
Yeah.
And I was like, it did sound like Siri. And then I was like, oh, I wonder like
Yeah, dude.
who did. And I looked it up, and it was Siri. So
She
real
was
quick,
Siri was in the credits. Should we try it right now?
yeah, this
We
is
could
really
literally
cool.
do it like on air.
Yeah, do it on there. Do it.
All right. Hey, Pewter.
Welcome home, sir. For your information, Robin is trying on costumes in the Batcave again. He's doing some pirouettes and Patrishnikov.
So good.
That is a really
Petrishnikov.
funny Easter egg. So if you have an iPhone, which is
Refer to Siri as Pewter.
yeah, say hey Pewter, and so that was actually really funny that all the little brick characters had iPhones. So that's like a really fun Easter egg. Like say that, and all the
Yeah,
Lego
dude.
characters have iPhones.
Dude, that made me look so cool with my kids when I
Yeah.
showed them. I'm not going to lie. I milked that a little bit.
They're
Be
like, check
"Hey,
this out."
Guess what I know? I know stuff.
What? Oh man,
You're the coolest, Dad.
Yeah.
Thank you
So-
for recognizing that for one split second before you move on to other things.
So yeah, so Asher's all, oh, I wonder, is Siri like, does she do other movies? Asher thinks Siri is a person that works like for the phone, for Apple. Like he doesn't know Apple, but he knows iPhone. Like, does Siri work for iPhone? She just answers. So anytime you ask a question, it's somebody talking through a mic, a computer mic. And
wow.
So I'm like, dang, that's a crazy job. She's always answering questions.
That would be a cool little story.
There you go. So, but it's funny, doesn't Pixar have Apple connections? Wasn't Steve Jobs a part of Pixar? Anyway, so
he's like a shareholder.
Yeah, well, he was.
Probably he was.
He's not home.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, anyways, to have Lego have that Apple reference I was like, oh, that's interesting. But it's fun. I liked it as an iPhone user and Apple person.
I mean, and that's probably a good point to move to talking about a lot of the Easter eggs and references in it, because boy, howdy, like we can't even contain all of those right now. There's so many. Yeah,
I know we're gonna like forget one, like, oh, dude, like I loved all the posters, the Batman posters they created in Lego, like they did the Batman Begins one. Yeah, they need to put those out
way too fast.
They need to put that on like the Lego Batman Instagram. Like, here's the Batman Begins.
Dude, there were a few moments where I was like, whoa, like everything was flashing past because I couldn't like take it all in. No. You know what I thought was interesting though? Like I think you had mentioned, Justin, when you tweeted about it, like that it's a love letter to everything Batman.
Yeah, I think everyone said that it's a love letter to Batman.
Because it is.
Like,
I mean, that's just calling it what it is. But what I thought was interesting is, though it did reference pretty much every iteration of Batman in some way, I felt like it really did focus on Batman 89 in a lot of ways. I felt like that had some recurring references that were really quick.
Like what?
Wasn't it when he first went at the first one when Joker's like, stop him before he starts singing? And he's like, Pewter. Get the let's get nuts mix.
Oh yeah.
So that's a reference. That's a reference to Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
In Batman 89. You want to get nuts?
Come on.
Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts. So that song.
That song, dude.
Who's the Batman? It's probably the best Batman song ever made.
It's pretty wonderful. My wife hates it, but my kids love it.
Yeah, it's not meant for moms. That song. That song is meant for dudes.
Not going to play that on the way to soccer practice.
It's like
da 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 da.
We heard it like probably 6 times in a row on the way up to basketball practice last night. It just song gets you pumped, dude, for anything, for life.
Dude, it's great.
Like,
dude, I want to use that to work out too,
dude. That's like my new theme song.
Does the sickest backflips,
Batman.
Yeah, that's really well done. The movie, and shout out real quick to all the music choices in that movie.
Yeah,
it was just really solid, man. Even the end credits.
I don't like the end credits song.
That's fine, dude, because that's not your cup of tea. You don't like poppy stuff.
It's just really poppy. They even reference like, now time for like a really poppy song.
Oh yeah.
My Oliver loves that song.
The Forever song on the soundtrack. I've been digging on that all
song
week.
Is so cute. That makes little English kids singing, like little boys, like.
No, that's Man in the Mirror.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking that's a different song then.
Dude, yeah, we could talk about that for a second.
The Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson cover with the kids choir singing.
And the beginning, having his quote open up the movie.
Shimon.
Oh my gosh.
Because Man in the Mirror was like a recurring thing. It happened a few times throughout the movie.
Which I was really confused, but happy. I mean, appreciate it.
But in retrospect, it totally fits with the storyline. It fits with Batman's character arc for the movie.
Yeah.
I'm starting with the Man in the Mirror.
Yeah.
He's got to change his ways, man.
Oh, what is it? All good movies start in black.
Yes. All good movies end in white.
Yeah.
On his commentary on the little, I never know what to call those. At the beginning of the movie, the little like WB logo thing.
Oh yeah. Dude,
it
I'm glad you
actually
brought
made
that
those
up.
interesting for once.
That was funny.
Like, oh my god.
What did he say? He made a big dig at like Superman. What was it? It was like the house that Batman built. Take that, Superman.
Dude, see, this is why I need to see it again, because you know what I was doing during that opening part? Getting a soda for my kids. Because they waited until the very last trailer to say, like, I'm really thirsty. Dang it.
Oh, man. That's funny. Yeah, Dash leaned over to me. So, Justin, I need something to drink. I'm all good.
Thanks, Justin. See, for that, I missed it.
What was I going to do? I had nothing.
I missed it, dude. I missed it. That's proof right there. I need to go see it again. Dude, so many digs at WB things.
Yeah.
That's what was interesting. Can we just talk about those for a second?
Yeah.
Like, I know I started talking about Batman 89 references, but one of my favorite ones was a dig at Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And it was Killer Croc going, I did something.
And then like Batman's like, well, team of bad guys, that sounds dumb. Like, or whatever the actual
bad guys.
Yeah. I don't mean to do Batman voice when I quote him, but it's just like.
Or what's the other one? It was like, or fighting other superheroes for vague, undefined reasons.
Yeah. So many
BBS.
like that's the part I was like wondering like how quick can they change a line like in this? I mean, to animate the Lego voices, the faces, it's probably just so it doesn't matter. Like they could have been saying anything and change it. Oh, let's make a dig. Because when they were producing this, I bet you BVS wasn't even out yet. So
Suicide Squad was being made. Batman vs Superman was made.
It was probably on its way to being done, but who knows? Like
that makes me have a little more respect even for those movies. Just that the same studio would allow it to be made fun of. Like that's cool.
I think it's just kind of like it is what it is. Like let's self-reference it.
It's a great moment.
Everybody knows Suicide Squad sucks. So, I mean, suck aside.
Hey,
Squad.
I like Suicide Squad for what it was.
Yeah,
it's not a great film, but
I liked aspects of it that no one else liked.
There's aspects of it. There's parts where I'm like the end
when it was over.
Yeah.
Hey,
let's
back on track.
We'll do a whole episode on.
Dude, I need to watch the director's cut or ultimate cut or whatever.
The director's cut. The
Ultimate
7
cut.
extra minute cut.
Yeah, 7 extra minutes of the Joker breathing really awkwardly. So other Easter eggs. So talking about Batman 89, like he references like remember when you did that parade?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Batman 89.
The Joker parade. Yeah, they reference all the Joker stuff.
When he takes over all of Batman's vehicles, it's like all of your little toys.
Yeah, that was Penguin, who took over the Batmobile.
No. I'm talking about like Joker's line. Where does he get those toys?
Oh,
right.
Maybe I missed that.
Yeah, Joker refers to all of them as Batman as all of your little toys.
That's cool.
Which is a reference to Jack Nicholson's Joker in Batman 89.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fun. I just love also that the Bane voice from The Dark Knight Rises is just always made fun of. Like that is like go-to. Like when they went for that voice, like when he first started talking on this, like that, it just made my heart happy.
That's the best part of The Dark Knight Rises is Bane's voice.
Yeah.
So Doug Benson did his voice. Comedian Doug Benson did Bane's voice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that it sounded like a Bane like a Tom Hardy impression. Like not even like real Tom Hardy.
Oh, if they would have got Tom Hardy to do it, that would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, it could have been cool.
It was so cool that they didn't care. Like the fact that they had Ray Fiennes in it, but when Voldemort came, which he actually played in real life,
they had someone else do it.
Had somebody else do his
voice.
Ray,
I don't know. See, here's the thing. I haven't seen any Harry Potter movies.
Ray Fiennes played Voldemort, but he also did the voice of Alfred in this movie, and so they had
he was a great
different actor.
Great Alfred.
Dude, he was a fantastic Alfred. Alfred, that was a great reference. Batman 66 costume when Alfred suited up.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was cool. The part I didn't like was they didn't keep when they did the shot of the 60s Batman dancing. Like, why didn't they just do like a Lego version of that too? I don't know why they didn't.
Okay, see, I liked the live action stuff they worked in on stuff like
Jerry Maguire.
Watching Jerry Maguire and then laughing at that line. Was pretty fantastic.
Oh yeah, like again, Lego Batman's the best.
I love Alfred's hair shaking, and there was one shot where he's looking up, and his little headpiece is just literally shaking on his head.
Like wiggling back and forth.
I just love it.
Which I noticed that actually with everybody with hair. If you notice, like even Barbara Gordon's hair, to emulate like the windblown effect, it was just the hair, like piece of Lego moving back and forth. So wonderful. Okay, you want to know what one stuck out to me, and it feels like a really like obscure reference? Free Willy reference.
What?
When all of in the third act, what they do is they team up with all of the Gotham Batman Rogue Gallery to fight the Phantom Zone bad guys, and one of those is Orca. And when Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, is like, "Come on, everybody, let's go!" Like Orca does like a jump over the top of Barbara Gordon, and she's like looking up and doing that Free Willy arm thing where she just.
That's fun. I wonder if they used Orca just to do that joke because Orca's a
100%. Totally.
Orca's a dumb villain, dude. That's funny. So I wanted to go back to some of the cast stuff.
Yeah, let's do it, dude. Let's meander a little bit.
The Lego movie Easter egg too. I mean, there's a little reference, and they talked
the
about the bottom of the city cracking open into
the bottomless pit kind of thing.
Oh,
the abyss.
That tie-in. We'll talk about all the tie-ins to the Lego universe.
So,
in a minute,
I thought the weakest part of the cast was Harley Quinn.
For sure.
I was like,
there's like no personality to
Harley.
It was just only fine with it because I love that actress on Parks and Rec.
Who did her voice?
Jenny Slate.
Mona Lisa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't catch that at all. But here's the thing: like, I'm not expecting Tara Strong,
Tara Strong, who did her voice. Yeah,
so I'm not expecting like
and Arlene
that.
Sorkin.
Yeah, Arlene Sorkin.
Can you say that one more?
Sorry,
Soikin?
Sorkin. Arlene Sorkin.
And is she's who did it for the
animated series,
right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying like we need to expect that.
Yeah, but
Character,
there's a certain
like, exaggerated,
even
but you need to
Margot
have
Robbie had a
something.
little bit of that.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
like, hey, Mr. J. Like, I think what I just said right now is better than the performance in the Lego Batman movie.
It's true.
It needs a little bit of that like that quirkiness, that attitude to be Harley Quinn. That's just part of who she is.
I agree with you.
Hey, but it was good enough to get a shout out in Batman's "Let's Get Nuts" mix.
Hey,
Put him into the
that's
asylum.
true.
Into the asylum
It
with,
rhymes
with Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. Come on now, let's get nuts.
You want to get nuts?
Come on. All right, so we gotta.
I love that. That's an iconic line from that movie. Out of all this stuff,
Out of all this
Let's
stuff,
get
yeah.
nuts.
Let's get nuts.
Is Michael Keaton / Beetlejuice being Bruce Wayne?
Because Batman is so crazy in those movies. He is
really
literally a
is.
bananas kind of guy. Like he just says crazy
His
stuff. He's
turtlenecks.
Those turtlenecks.
Yeah, turtlenecks. Levi's.
Eating soup.
He's straight up.
He was Steve Jobs.
Steve
He was Steve Jobs.
Batman was Steve Jobs.
Batman was Steve Jobs.
He's all.
Thank you, Batman, for the iPhone.
Yeah, he's like
appreciate
working on
that.
iPhones down here.
Thanks
Dang
for my
it.
laptop.
Dang it, Vicky.
Batman.
Vicky
The
threw
house
off
that Batman
iPhone.
built. Apple is the house that Batman built. That's what it is.
Oh, that's really funny.
Okay, so another reference and tie-in, speaking of cast, is I thought it was a fun little reference in the Lego movie to have Superman voiced by Channing Tatum and Green Lantern voiced by Jonah Hill, who both starred in the 21 Jump Street movies, 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street. Really, really funny movies, way funnier than they deserve to be.
Yeah.
But the fact I actually went into this movie, that was one of my hopes. Like my actual thoughts was like, oh man, I really hope they bring them in on it because they're dynamic. And the way, even though it's just for a few seconds, the way they characterize Superman and Green Lantern is, again, like their own take that still seems like it makes sense.
Yeah. Like Superman seems kind of like more jockish. Like,
yeah, he's like, he's almost like a bro, but like not quite a bro.
Yeah. And Green Lantern was like, kind of like total, like,
he's kind of
such a
wiener.
loser. Because it was like post like Green Lantern movie. And so that's.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't get those emails from Superman sometimes too. Or what was it in the Lego movie when they all end up in those cells together? He's like, hey, roomie.
Yeah.
Or, hey,
See,
neighbor.
that's what
Like,
I would love to do a Lego Justice League movie. I think
I
they
was
can do a
just gonna say that.
Lego Superman movie would kind of be cool. I just feel like maybe
Lego Justice League movie. Okay, so let's talk about that scene. Can we talk about the
I just
Super
want him to
Friends,
time to
like,
break some necks.
the Super Friends, like
Super Friends,
Fortress of Solitude.
Apache Chief, like all the characters are in there. The Martian Dance Hunter.
or like the Martian Dance Hunter.
Yeah.
So who are some of the characters we had in there for people that maybe didn't catch all of them? So we had
Cyborg,
Martian Manhunter was in there.
Aquaman, Flash,
Wonder Dog was DJing.
Wonder Dog was DJing. That's right.
And he's from Super Friends cartoon, right?
Yeah,
Wonder
Wendy and Marvin.
Twins also.
Wonder Twins. Yeah, and then they had a bunch of random ones like Apache Chief. Feel like
There was one in a black
Black
costume.
Vulcan.
Black Vulcan.
Black
That's what it was,
Vulcan.
yeah. Was Shazam in there? I was trying to figure out if
I didn't see
saw
Shazam.
him.
I don't think Shazam was in there.
That's odd.
So yeah,
But
it
yeah,
was just so
and they were
fun.
celebrating 57 years,
Yeah.
which I thought was fantastic because, hey, Justice League,
There you go.
57 years.
57 years Justice League.
Interesting.
Which is also another funny thing is Batman talking about how well he's aged.
Oh,
Because they're
yeah.
talking about all the different, like, he's been doing this forever. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, and he aged really well, too.
He has 9 abs, dude.
9 abs. That one in the middle.
nine-pack.
It's hard to see. Yeah, so they referenced, what were the, because they had a couple of those things where it was like just quick like shots of like different iterations of Batman. What were some of those that you caught? So Batman v Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, they did the scene of Batman standing there in the Dark Knight after like Rachel blows up. There's like
Yes.
and the Batman Lego Batman version of that.
Lego Batman version of Batman Begins.
Yeah.
A Lego version of Returns. Lego
They
version of
just showed
89.
they showed the nipples from the actual Batman Forever movie. Or
And minifigures don't. Well, yeah, some of them have nipples.
you should know. You have to break.
Yeah,
you are the Lego. The
They
Lego
even did the
ambassador.
they had a nod to the serials, right? The black and white.
Yes,
one?
they did.
Did they?
To the Batman serials, yeah.
There was a quick little nod to that.
Oh man, I didn't even see that part.
Because you had two different sequences where they talked about different iterations of Batman. One was Alfred saying, "You did the same thing in 2016, in 2013, in 2009, in 2000, like 98, 95, 89, and that weird phase in 66." But then you also had Barbara Gordon when she's talking to the city at that ball where she takes on the role of commissioner. She talks about like Batman's been doing this for this long.
Yeah.
And she kind of references a couple more.
Oh, okay.
Which is just crazy to me. Like all of the references, like so here's where it ties in a little bit for me to what's been done in the comic book, like the print world. When writers are able to take what seems like completely contradictory representations of a character and just weave them in and be like, yeah, that's all part of things.
Yeah.
Which I think Grant Morrison is probably one of the best I've seen to do that with Batman and with Superman.
Yeah.
To just take, yes, he's a serious detective, but also he went on this,
and
he went on a time travel thing and into space and painted his costume
because
different colors, because it's just a thing.
Fear gas from the Scarecrow may have brought that out. I don't know. Like, there's a reason why. I don't know if that was the reason.
And a similar thing with Superman when you look at the miniseries All-Star Superman.
Yeah.
A lot of the different things in Superman's mythology were all woven together to make one story, and it just made sense.
Yeah. Well, I think Lego gives you a good platform to adapt all the crazy stuff. You know,
it's true.
Batman's the most adaptable character there is. Like, I think there was a time where the 60s was the worst thing for Batman. It made him silly. And it did. I mean, it really made him kind of a joke. But now I think you can go back and see Batman in every single like medium and go, he can be funny. Like Batman Brave and the Bold, funny show. But
good.
But again, I think much like the Lego movie, it's love letter to Batman and not making fun of Batman.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
like where Batman and
celebrating what Batman
made
is.
fun of Batman. Like it didn't get it wasn't, there was no reverence in Batman and Robin, that movie. It was just like, let's sell toys and be stupid.
Which is why I love it a lot more than even a lot of superhero movies that are around, because it seems like there's almost too much reverence for like superhero movies to the point where everything has to be nitpicked, and it's like they take themselves too seriously, and you have
and you
all
have
the
to
fans
explain
in the
everything.
world, to the point where you can't even have fun because it's like something's gonna get trashed. The only way you could have done a lot of this fun stuff is to have it in Lego, where it's like, right from jump, this isn't serious. So I mean, we get basically do whatever we want.
Because Batman's heroic, kind of, but not really all that inspiring. Joker isn't scary
he inspires
and
the whole
intimidating.
city. Even Commissioner Gordon's like, here's this Batman thing. This is all you need to be the commissioner. Here's a little Batman button. And she's like, no, we can do this ourselves. I went to Harvard cop school.
Harvard
tank
school,
top so bad.
Harvard School for Police.
Harvard School for Police.
And she had her sweater or a jacket that said that on it.
Oh man,
that was funny.
That
Police.
was really good.
That's gonna be like some exclusive minifigure after soon.
I just want like a sweatshirt or a T-shirt with that.
Harvard.
Okay, another reference. Speaking of Barbara Gordon's backstory, another Easter egg thing in there is she spent time cleaning up the streets of Bloodhaven.
Yeah, that was cool.
And for those who don't know, that really rose to prominence as an area in the DC universe, because that's where Nightwing kind of spread his wings, to speak.
Okay.
so to speak.
Now that you say that, what would be really fun, I think, is if they do Lego Batman movie 2 and Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing, but he's just badass. Like he's no longer like, like he's just tough, you know. All of a sudden he hits
still have Michael Cera do the voice.
Yeah, but he still has the glasses, maybe. I don't know. I think it would be awesome if he was just
because that'd be great. They'd have him dealing with the teenager, and all the angst of that and everything.
I think it would be cool, man.
Okay, what do you think of his Nightwing costume that he ended up putting on?
I didn't quite get that. Was that like
So that was a reference to a little DC Universe history. Nightwing is a character that lives in the bottle city of Kandor. It's Kryptonian. And so when Nightwing became Nightwing, he took inspiration from Superman and Batman. Like Superman, the wing, fly, Batman, night. Right. And in the stories, there's like Superman would sometimes hang out with Robin, like, hey, and like talk to him, because Superman was a little more inspiring to Dick Grayson, and so he would tell him tell him stories about these characters, Nightwing and Flamebird. And so when he became his own self, he became, and I'm combining all the Nightwing history into one thing. Okay. So he basically was inspired by Nightwing. I'm going to be Nightwing. So that's where the name came from. But the costume they had in the movie was closer to what the Bottle City of Kandor Nightwing looked like.
Okay.
And so that which I thought was kind of funny. Like, it was a wink and a nod. But in the comics, his first outfit was more of this disco collar, like long, deep.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You know, I had that.
Yeah, so there were
Super
elements of that.
circusy.
It was so gaudy and over the top, which I think fit to kind of, again, bring that moment of levity into that crazy third act, which I thought was pretty great. So I think, I mean, we've hit a lot of the details of the story, and I know we can't talk forever, although we probably could because this movie is so good.
Yeah. I know. I feel
Do you
like
have anything else
I feel like
before
we're
we move on?
missing stuff. Like,
We're totally missing stuff. There's
and
so
we might
much
have to do part two.
to
I
do.
don't know.
There's so much. Maybe we'll catch that up in a weekly episode.
Like, once
We'll
it
kinda
comes
do a
out, I think
catch-all.
on Blu-ray, we'll probably have to do another, like, hey, we watched it again. Maybe we can do a commentary or something.
That would be fun.
That would be really fun. Just overall, the entire movie, the way the relationship, the stuff that made me like really sad was when he was all, not sad, but like, hey, Padre. Like, he kept wanting to have
He kept
this,
calling
like,
him Padre.
this, like, relationship.
Because it's like,
with them.
don't call me dad.
But when he's like, oh, Padre, that's kind of a cool nickname. All right. So if it was cool,
Yeah, totally.
he would accept it. And I loved all that. So that was cool. What I will say, if I had to compare, because there's the Lego movie and then there's the Lego Batman movie, I feel like the Lego movie had more heart to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you expand on that? Like, how so?
Because I think it touched on a broader thing of like, hey, you know what? Like, I felt really bad for the Emmett character. Like, oh man, he has no friends. No one remembers him. Like, he's just kind of a nobody. He's not individual. They live in this world that's like tells you to just do, like, everybody likes the same thing. Follow the rules. Do this, and he tries to do that, and he's just lost. Like, when even his like little ideas, no one likes his ideas, and through that there was a real message of like, you know what, like you don't have to follow the instructions. Lego, a company
we can
who
all
gives you
be
instructions.
creative.
Yeah. So, but they're telling you like, be creative, be a master builder.
Oh, see,
Like-
but then can I counteract that a little bit
Please.
with this? I think this had just as much heart
Yeah.
because but it was just with a different point.
Yeah.
Because it was going back to that father-son kind of aspect. I would expand that to be like a family aspect, like that for a guy that's like a loner, where they really hammer home like, I'm totally self-sufficient. I mean, look at the first scene is him taking out every single one of these bad guys by himself.
To an amazing heavy metal
And so he's
song.
like, obviously he can take care of himself.
Yeah.
But then to come back around to be like, oh gosh, what was the line? They kept coming back to it. It was like their tagline thing, like, takes more than a Batman to takes a village, not just a Batman. Or
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
No, and I agree.
And that
I
was
agree with
kind
what
of
you're saying.
the heart of that one. I think was just like, hey, like, to do awesome stuff, like, you can only go so far by yourself, and you have to let other people in.
Yeah.
And I think there was this level of like, hey, like, you can still be awesome and tough and still be vulnerable and let people into your life.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. I still think the Lego movie, that story is stronger. But it doesn't mean I don't like it. I mean, it's still got to go, man. I'm just
I think
being,
that makes sense.
And Batman's my favorite character. Like, Emmett is not my favorite character. Like, Emmett.
Well, you know
is
what
a
makes
character.
Emmett, like, what makes you drawn into him a little more?
Star-Lord.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, Chris Pratt, dude.
Just as a voice, like,
Yeah.
just take that voice, that Chris Pratt, and everything he is in is like so endearing.
yeah,
Like, he's just like, yeah, I like this guy.
yeah,
To where, like, the way that we never even talked about the fact that Will Arnett is the voice of Batman.
that's a good point.
He is a great voice. He's a great actor.
He has got a great Batman voice.
Yeah.
Like,
One of my favorites for sure.
Yeah.
But the way he plays it specifically is like really abrasive and rude and cocky. You know what I mean? And so I guess like you're right off the bat, it's kind of working against having a natural kind of connection to him on an emotional level.
yeah, and then there's the part at the end where he becomes a protector. He takes Alfred and Robin and Batgirl, and he like leaves them and takes off. They resent him because they're like, hey, we want help.
Yeah.
And so
It's that classic trope of like, because he even did it because you noticed.
But he did it because he cared about him. He didn't want to lose him.
But it's this classic trope though too. The way it was done.
Yeah.
Like you noticed, the Batmobile was like the shape of like a dog-ish kind of character,
giant
and it was the
dog
typical
bat
like, no, get out of here, no, go, like trying to convince him that they hate him to be able to get them to go away. Like it was totally one of those scenes.
Yeah, but it worked, and I agree with you. I stand by my point of I think the original Lego movie had more heart and I think connectivity overall so I feel like as a dad, Lego Batman speaks more to me.
Yeah, totally.
To someone who's not a dad, they might go, oh yeah, that's that same story of a dad being kind of a jerk and whatever.
Right.
And I think that's what I'm saying. But I agree. I think this movie's great. It's fun. I want to see it again. Like the whole Lego concept is really making me fall in love with and excited about other stories like Ninjago. I don't care about Ninjago, but now I want to watch Lego Ninjago because that trailer looked fun,
Yeah. So here we go. We keep talking about it. Now we're going to actually talk about it. We talk about having a shared Lego universe.
Yeah.
That to me, again, was a surprise. I didn't think that's where it was going. I thought these were all going to kind of be their own things, even though obviously Lego movie, everything kind of combined into one.
That's like the Justice League is Lego movie. Everyone will show up in that one.
Which I think would be great. But there were so many references back to the Lego movie. Like you were referencing, like it still feels like, now we know if you've seen the Lego movie, you know that was a movie representing a kid playing with Legos. And so that's why a lot of the sounds are like people making sounds and a lot of things are kind of like really random. Like there was totally that aspect tied in really, really strongly. So when they talk, like Delon mentioned, about the city breaking apart and what that would mean for them, it's the same like bottomless pit that Emmett fell into to fall into like the real world. But they're building a brand. Like they have their brand of movies. So we saw, you mentioned Lego Ninjago movie had a trailer out. My kids watch Ninjago, the TV show. Do your kids watch that at all?
No, not yet.
Have you seen it, Delon?
They want to now because Lego Dimensions.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's a pretty good show.
But it's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just like this Lego Batman movie was totally its own take, apart from Lego Batman, Lego Justice League, which are different movies.
Yeah, I would say those movies aren't dependent upon the idea of Lego. Like, there's no big giant builds in those things. It's just like a cartoon that's just they're Legos.
Yeah, they just happen to be Lego.
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 That they're Lego.
Lego plural.
But the idea of building things even in this movie, like it was, initiate master build mode. Like
he was a master builder.
So that part I think needs to be a part of these movies.
That was a connecting point. And the fact that you had all of these other villains in the third act that aren't related to Batman specifically at all.
Yeah.
That's another connecting point to it. But I would say, even apart from specific story elements, I'm noticing in the Lego movie, seeing Lego Batman movie, seeing the trailer for Lego Ninjago movie, you have a style of writing and of comedy that is super consistent through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
It's really good. Mm-hmm. And sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I like the way they're going with the shared universe and not having to use that to sell the movies, because it's nice that you can tell that they're connected. But I didn't feel like with this movie, or of course with the Lego movie, that it was a preview for a movie in the future. It felt like a very full movie on its own. And they're like, oh, by the way, that's like it's in the same universe. That's nice, because so many of these that are now, it seems like that's a selling point. That's like, oh, watch this so you can prepare yourself for this next movie. And this wasn't that. It was refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no this is all connected going into this movie at all.
Yeah.
It's connected, but it's its own thing, which I like. Very like Captain America's Winter Soldier. It stands on its own, but it's connected.
Those mechs from Ninjago, all I could think about was how much money am I about to lose?
I know. I'm like, I hope my kids don't love this.
Gigantic mechs.
Lego Ninjago, right off the bat, he's like, Lloyd? Like, yes, I'm your son. And it's Lloyd. No, I named you. L-O-I-D.
See that? Oh,
Like that's totally
that
Lego
humor is hilarious. Yeah.
In that little shot of the one fighting, he's fighting like by a refrigerator or something, but just the way that was shot, I'm just like
The choreography?
the action.
It felt like Jackie Chan, like old school Jackie Chan
I never
choreography.
thought like, oh, Lego's
Like
gonna
Rumble in the
have
Bronx.
awesome choreographed fight scenes, but the Batman one at the beginning of the movie and then this one, like
was
they're doing
bonkers.
That scene is
crazy
actually on
stuff.
YouTube right now. Like
No,
they put
really?
some like Polish or Swedish. Maybe it's Swedish because it's
the
like,
same dude that put all the Civil War stuff up.
Oh, I don't know.
There's
no.
like one dude it has like the whole movie in.
Oh no! But they put
14
that scene
seconds.
up, and that is so like that song again. Going back to that song, it's awesome.
Who is the Batman?
Who is the Batman? So you know what? There's some interesting things, and I'm glad they did this. There was a lot of there could have been some spoilers in the trailers, and they completely changed it. Like Robin ripping off his pants happened in the inside Arkham and didn't happen when they were running outside. And when they were running outside, Alfred was just in his butler suit.
Yeah.
And he catches the pants, but in the movie he was already wearing his Batman suit.
And in the trailer, you saw Batman running with the Justice League behind him. Never happened.
Yeah.
Like that didn't even factor in to the big
I'm
fight.
like, they had to spend money to animate that, didn't they?
And that was great because I felt like I got so much more in the movie. I felt like I hadn't seen this entire movie going into the film.
Yeah. Well, again, like we said, I don't think the trailers. I thought the trailers. There was like 4 or 5 trailers of this movie because we would watch them a lot, and I'm like, I know the movie, and it was exactly not what I thought the movie was going to be.
Totally.
So they did a good
Like
job.
that varied from the trailer, I feel like pretty quickly in that. But yeah, the Lego shared universe and Lego brand, like I didn't think about going into this movie being someone that would think, just like Marvel, MCU movies are a brand where I'm like, I'm going to go see those. Like if, I have my directors that I like, that I'm like, I'm going to go see what they're doing probably. But then I never would have thought before this movie that, Lego, like whatever they do, like I'm just going to go see it.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's totally one of those for me now.
Yeah. 2 movies in, it's like, it's now it's a good brand. Like, good job, Warner Brothers. Because I know they need like, everyone wants a brand. They got like Harry Potter brand kind of still. And then they're really banking on these Lego movies and the DC stuff. So
this is a better shared universe than the DCEU already. I'm just going to say it.
I'll agree.
Because these movies feel different from each other
Yeah.
enough to feel like movies, but they also feel like part of the same thing.
They're part of the same thing, yeah.
And that, this is just kind of like a side, like more philosophical thing I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my brother and I, like after we saw it, was like, how is Lego, the company making some of the most funny movies out there? And I totally have a theory on it. And it's that so much, not all, but a lot of what comedy can be is just taking the low hanging fruit, like the easy jokes, like just do gross out humor, just do gags, just do whatever, you know what I mean? And then it's funny for a bit, but when there's no restraint on comedy, then it doesn't make you work for the joke.
Yeah, but I think some of these jokes are smart. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. With doing a Lego movie, like, sure, people would label it quote unquote, a kid's movie.
Yeah.
I would say this is 100% like fun for kids.
Yeah.
Not made for kids primarily.
Yeah. It's
so smart. And I think it's because they're forced to not take the easy way out on these. Like they have to fit in within parameters that forces better jokes.
Yeah. I would agree.
So that would be my answer to my brother's question. I told him I had a theory.
Tell them to download and listen. Go
ahead and listen.
Give us a great
show.
review on iTunes and 5 stars. That would be amazing.
So another question, I think overall for this, as we're talking about the big ideas for it, as far as renditions and representations of Batman, where does this fall for you? Because I know people can get a little exaggerated and be like, best representation of Batman ever. Justin's the resident, Delon's the resident Lego expert. Justin's the resident
I come
Batman
from the
expert.
official Batman Institute of America myself. So I'm in the fifth level
expert.
of my
Your school
Dark
is right
Knight.
next to my Lego university.
It is. You guys' parties are.
He's
awesome.
about to level up. He almost has
about
enough
to
XP.
level up. Man, yeah. I'd like. I don't know what to say. I like Lego Batman. He's fun. Lego Batman's a fun guy. It takes the like obsessive part of Batman and just makes fun of it in a good way. It's just funny. He's a funny guy. Where does he rank in my Batman? I grew up like my first movie Batman was Michael Keaton, and I love him. Like, he's one of my faves.
He's kind of like the gold standard for you.
Is he the gold standard? He's like the one I can't. He's like my first love. Like, I'll never forget him. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't the perfect Batman. Like, he wasn't a good Bruce Wayne. But he
was a crazy Bruce Wayne.
He was a crazy. He wants to get nuts. That clip we showed you earlier when he punches that guy in Batman Returns, but his eyes goes.
And he
bananas.
got away with killing people to where people weren't gonna get all butt hurt.
Every that's how is Michael Keaton allowed to kill people? No one lost their minds.
Poor Ben Affleck.
And then we watched the honest trailer for Batman Begins, and it's like where like he lets Ra's al Ghul die, and it's all manslaughter. So only Ben Affleck gets crap, and I'm like, again, we'll save this for a whole other thing. Ben Affleck is actually, I really like Ben Affleck Batman. I think he looks the part. He's just a big, hulking, freaking Batman who's gonna, like, if he punches you, he's probably gonna knock your bone out of your arm because Zack Snyder's probably directing it. But he's like I love that Batman. I want to see more. He's not my favorite yet because he's a contender. He's not my favorite because he's only done one movie and then kind of he pops up here and there. And he was actually more of a compassionate Batman in Suicide Squad, I thought.
It's true.
He was.
All right, so yeah, like where do you rank him then?
Where do I rank
Lego Batman?
Lego Batman.
I think he's in my top 3.
Nice.
It's hard, man. Maybe he's in the top
tough,
4
man.
because Bale's kind of like Bale's the gold standard.
Okay. Even with the voice.
Yeah, it's like I'll take it for what it is. The voice is like,
Even with.
I don't mind the voice so much.
Out of breath.
It's. I just don't like when he screams. The only part I hate is when he's all, "Where's the trigger?" It's like
Swear to me.
Like, see, in Batman Begins, I liked his voice the best. But it's like when he takes it to that level, I'm like, oh, dude, the voice sucks. No one cares about the voice anymore. But
Will Arnett, on the other hand, dude.
Will Arnett has a great voice.
Great Batman.
It's more like this. Like, hey, dude. It's like, dude, Batman. Hey, dude.
Okay, maybe that's what this is, dude. I'm realizing.
It's like, dude, Batman.
Is the Lego universe, is it the bro universe? Like, we have bro Batman, bro Superman.
Superman does seem like a bro. And it's Channing Tatum, so it makes so much sense. It's like, hey, dude, just... I want to see Lego Superman movie. I think that would be so fun.
I want to see Lego Justice League.
Yeah,
I want to see all
Lego
of them
Justice
together.
League would probably be the next best bet. So, all right, what do you think, Delon?
Well, I guess as far as just Batman and you're not ranking movies, right?
I'm just ranking Batman.
Okay, because I thought he was a lot of fun. As much as I know about Batman, Ben Affleck so far is kind of my favorite. I'm not too big a fan on Christian Bale actually as Batman. I love those movies.
Yeah,
but
Two of them.
I'm sorry. I have fun with Dark Knight Rises.
I agree. I have fun with it, but there's parts I just don't like.
Yeah.
But overall,
it's okay. I'm just gonna judge you.
I don't know. I went out of that theater though, so kind of not answering your question because. Yeah. But with Batman's, I'm like, whatever. But with the movies, though, like I had more fun with this than any other Batman movie. Maybe than other than of course Dark Knight. Everybody, that's the answer. But
it was a fun movie.
But for a while with me,
it
was Dark Knight and then the Batman movie with Adam West because those are there's no better entertainment with Batman to me than those, but this one's just a step underneath Dark Knight for me, just because I feel like it said a lot more about Batman than a lot of the movies did, and it had amazing action. It had he seemed true to himself. I thought he was more true to Batman than maybe even Michael Keaton. But
but, what? I think Lego Batman would not like Adam West Batman. Lego Batman's probably like his favorite Batman is probably Ben Affleck. He'd be like, that guy's cool, Like in the Lego Dimensions game, Lego Batman does not like comic book Batman.
No?
There's two different versions of Batman in the game. There's the comic book.
So you have Lego Batman as far as the generic one, but then you have Lego movie
distinct
Batman.
characters.
Yeah, he's a distinct
wow.
Because when other characters meet Batman, they're like Emmett's all, you're not the jerk Batman, are you? Because Lego Batman's kind of a jerk.
It's true.
And then
That's awesome.
when Batman shows up, he's just kind of like, oh, hey,
gosh,
why are you here? It's a side note. So if you play Lego Dimensions, it's really funny.
Is there anyone that puts George Clooney or Val Kilmer at the top of that list.
No, I think some people may put Val Kilmer. I think Val Kilmer was a good Batman.
I think he was fine.
He was not. I think his Bruce Wayne was boring. It was just like okay, but
Most of the Bruce Wayne seem pretty boring.
I think Christian Bale's a good Bruce Wayne. Even Affleck's a good Bruce Wayne. Like he's just a tired, bitter Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
But
I can dig it.
yeah. So what do you think, dude?
Where Lego Batman as a version of Batman ranks?
Yeah.
I will say, you know what's funny is I think in general, the animated Batmans,
Man, you went animated. Okay.
the animated Batmans are all my favorite representations of Batman.
Yeah.
Like I think Batman the Animated Series is a fantastic Batman.
Yeah.
Brave and the Bold is a little more goofy, but still really good.
Hammers of Justice.
Yes.
Right? The Hammers of Justice.
Yeah. But then I also really liked the past few years, the Young Justice
Oh.
Batman. Is that Bruce Greenwood does the voice? I think that's a really great representation of Batman too, because he's kind of no nonsense, but you can tell he still cares, but he just handles business.
You know what was
And
funny?
so this is an exaggerated version of Batman.
Yeah.
And I think if we're going on like, who represents the core of Batman best? But I'd say just full on like, who do I enjoy, watching as Batman? I would say he's probably in my like top 3 as well.
Nice. No, I know. Side note: you started talking about animated Batmans. It was funny when Batman was giving out T-shirts. It was the Batman show. It was just called the Batman. That random one that no one likes that much.
Oh yeah.
Like the shirt, it was the Batman logo, and I'm like, is that because they had extras? They just had to get rid of them. Like, did he have extra stock? Like, why is it that particular logo?
Dude, we're never going to run out of things to reference and talk about in this
there's
movie.
so much.
I feel like
I know, and we have due to time. We got to shut it down.
we do. Can I just give one more shout out?
Yes,
because we
you
didn't talk about a couple episodes ago when we were talking about how excited we were to see Lego Batman.
Yeah.
I mentioned that in my mind, I just thought it was going to be kind of like a Robot Chicken episode, but just safe for kids.
Yeah.
Not even realizing that Chris McKay, who directed it, he's known for Robot Chicken.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like that's completely what it was in the best way possible. Like it was all these it was like a bunch of vignettes put together that made sense together.
Yeah.
Like it was just these completely random, obscure characters coming in and out of the screen, like making all these things for the story. And I just want to give a shout out directly to him that man, way to go. This was one of the most enjoyable movie experiences I've had in a while.
You can tell he so super bummed. I get to do Batman on film, and
Shout
we got
out
the
to
interview.
Batman on film.
Shout out to Batman on film. We got to interview Chris McKay on the show, and that day there was a Skype block, and I couldn't get on the call, and I was so bummed. But I wanted to ask him, hey, so my question. They actually asked my question, but I don't think he answered it. I don't think he could answer it, but I was like, hey, so what are your thoughts on DCEU, and would you consider being a part of that? And he basically was like, oh yeah, everyone kind of. Like what his idea was basically inviting people into the process of, hey, watch my movie, give me your thoughts, this and this and that. But because I think I read on Twitter one place someone said you should direct the Flash movie, and he basically said, yeah, like let them know, like that's what I want. Like it sounded like he wants to be a part of that.
Yeah, the Flash movie needs someone like that.
He'd be a good fit for a voice. But
yeah. So anyway, I just didn't want to talk about the movie without mentioning Chris McKay's influence on that. You can see it.
Yeah.
I think it works really well. I'm excited to see it again. I think maybe we just go around and do some closing, like just final thought about the movie. Delon,
Lego expert.
What's your final closing statement, sir?
It was awesome. Everything was awesome.
Everything was awesome.
And they have a really fun version of that on the soundtrack by Richard Cheese. It's like
it's so peaceful.
Yeah, it's this kind of like. Have you ever
heard
like a
lounge
Richard Cheese?
version, right?
I have. I'm not the biggest fan, but I like that even more.
Lounge
He does lounge covers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything was awesome. Justin,
Yeah.
closing thoughts.
Based upon the money I have spent on minifigures alone, I really have invested into this movie, and I love Lego Batman. It did not disappoint me at all. Like my minor quibbles about villains. It's just because I love Batman. I want more of it. I wish it was longer, to be honest. I wish it was like
we need the 3-hour cut.
Longer. Yeah, we need that 3-hour.
Get on that,
Zack Snyder cut of the Lego Batman movie. I love it. It's a gotta go.
Yeah, for sure. I would say my one closing thought on that is it's really a good sign when before a movie even finishes, you want more.
Yeah.
Like you want more of it. I think the last time I felt that way was last year with Captain America Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
it made me excited for what was coming next. Like I was like, oh, I want to see Spider-Man. Oh, I want to see Infinity War.
Yeah, I want to see that lame villain who didn't really do much.
Dude, don't even. But I felt that way. Like I don't even know if I was halfway through Lego Batman movie, and I was like, oh, I was thinking about Lego Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Lego. I'm like, dude, do more, please. Like this is awesome.
I'll tell you, I had that thought about Nightwing. I was like, that would be a hilarious idea. Like he grows up tough. All of a sudden, he's like, his voice can be like, "Hey guys, I'm Nightwing." Like he just kind of gets into this.
That would be awesome.
So awesome. Well, thank you guys. This was awesome. This was fun. Delon, thanks for being the first guest.
Delon.
Oh, thank you.
On the Let's Go Comic Show.
I'm honored.
You were great, man. You're definitely gonna have to come back.
Really brought a depth of expertise to the conversation.
I've never met an expert in Lego.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you can say you have now.
Yes. So.
So usually, Delon, we close out talking about how people can find us on the interwebs and the social medias.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can they find you?
No, I'd rather they didn't.
You in a dark zone?
I'm off the grid.
You're off the grid with Mega Blocks.
He's off the brick.
He's over there with Mega Blocks, not on the grid.
Well, we appreciate your time here and the sacrifice you made, being away from the Brick Kingdom, the Brick Club, the Brick Gang, whatever Lego people call themselves. Like, is there like a name for like me and my son, our team name for building Legos is Brick Slayers because I thought it was funny because it's almost like brick layers, brick slay. I don't know, but there's probably 1,000 of those, huh?
There's adult fan of Legos. That's like the proper term for an adult who likes Legos.
What is it?
AFOL.
AFOL.
I wouldn't call myself one of those, but I am one of those.
Nice.
Well,
but if you're gonna refer to yourself,
I'm headed that way. I love it. It's so fun, dude. I'm trying to think of ways to get more Lego. Like I just want to build things that aren't. I want to be a master builder.
All right, we need to shut this down.
Yeah, we need to shut this down.
I can hear Justin's wallet getting lighter as we speak. So if you want to find us, where can we find us, Justin?
We are at Let's Go Comic Show on all social media. You can visit us at www.letsgocast.com to check out other shows and blogs and other fun stuff that might be posted.
Indeed.
And you can email us. If you're old school, you can email us at letsgocast@gmail.com.
That's old school.
You can find me on Twitter at j_Rocca.
You can find me at MATTRICHEY, Matt Ritchie.
That's awesome. So do us a favor. Leave us a great review and give us 5 stars on iTunes. That helps the show move up the rankings.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. We would love to do more shows and do more fun stuff. And go to our YouTube page. Just search YouTube for Let's Go Cast proper. That's where all of our videos for the Let's Go multiverse will land.
Indeed.
And subscribe to that because we're doing contests. The next 50, we'll get the guest on one of the shows. So that'd be fun.
There you go.
So thanks for listening. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
In the darkest night.